Many months ago, we set out on a quest to complete one of the most iconic Minecraft mod packs, All the Mods 9. Throughout this adventure, we witnessed a humble vanilla Minecraft player transform into a bee-loving modded enthusiast, who was just stubbornly determined enough to craft the All the Mods star and the starry bee. However, a new challenge is on the horizon, one that sheer determination alone simply won't be enough for. That challenge is GregTech, a culmination of enough technology, grind, and multi-blocks to challenge even the most skilled of players. Will we conquer the final chapter and emerge victorious by crafting the Greg star? Come along with us and find out. This is the GregTech Gauntlet. Hey everyone, my name is KryptoCal, and welcome to the next episode of All the Mods 9, GregTech Gauntlet. In the last episode, we finished off by crafting up our first multi-block, the Electric Blast Furnace, which is being currently powered by some LV, and it's not quite the fastest thing in the world, but it does allow us to do some very special recipes, which is really cool. Also, in between episodes, I decided to add a couple more crafting CPUs here, so we now have quite a bit of potential here with our current setup. I have all 5 of the middle ones here solely designated for just player crafts, and they are the largest CPUs, so that's going to be at least good for what we're going to need. And then all the other ones I have as just the default settings, so any automations can make use of them, so we can have quite a bit of parallel crafting going on with this current setup. And if we want to add more down the road, we can just expand out our P2P network, attach more of them, and just make it bigger. It's wild that you still eat your steak manually.
Okay, pardon me for enjoying a good meal.
You know what's really annoying though? We can't actually complete this quest because we have to be able to look at a formed EBF, and we are looking at a formed EBF, but it is not completing the quest. I've looked online, apparently people are having the same issue. It looks like in order to do this, we're gonna have to manually override this to complete the quest, but we do observe the EBF. It is right here, we have finished it, and there are no dependencies that we are missing, so what we can do is just right click on this in editing mode here and hit complete instantly, and that will hopefully fix that problem.
Don't worry, EBF. I have witnessed you. We need to make diodes. Diodes are made of gallium arsenide. Gallium, we are currently being given it by the bees. They're helping in the overworld, and they're doing a real solid, so we don't have to worry about any gallium. For the other half of the gallium arsenide thing, we have to make the arsenic, because unfortunately they disabled the bees for that. They knew it was too broken. The basic macerator is how we're going to start it, because we can use a resource that we have right now called Realgar. It is this stuff. Once we have Realgar dust, we have to put that stuff through the centrifuge, and the centrifuge for the Realgar will give us arsenic. But I'm not going to take the arsenic out because it is in fact hazardous by inhalation, which means you need to have your safety masks on, ladies and gentlemen. Safety first. I learned this the hard way.
See, it's interesting that it tells you that the way that it wants you to get it is by using the EBF with cobaltite.
Yeah, I think that's very silly. This is a lot easier. So these 3 machines are needed for the gallium arsenide. On the other side of the quest, we need to make the phenolic printed circuit boards. And for that, we have to start out making sawdust, which is why I have this thingamabob here. You put them all in the assembler with liquid glass, and we've got our final circuit.
All right, let's set up all these machines over here then. We have Applied Energistics already hooked up, so I will just make sure we have a couple channels designated for this spot.
The silver wires are now being created, I believe. Oh, actually, no, I need to hook in power, and then I'll be good to go.
We need to have the macerators. Now, the thing about the macerators is they are so slow. Probably going to want more macerators than we're going to want centrifuges, because I think the centrifuges are faster, but we'll have to just test the speeds and see. All right, so this is the speed that we're running the centrifuge at, and this is the speed of the macerator. Oh, actually the macerator is faster. Based on the speed of this, I think we're gonna want at least like 2 to 3 centrifuges per macerator.
It's 8 seconds and 3 seconds, so yes, probably. Holding arsenic will wear down the durability on your face mask.
Not so if it's eternal.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you had an internal one. It's one of those ones that, like, during COVID, people never washed, and they just kept re-wearing the same one. The gallium arsenide needs to be crafted down. For the diodes, we don't want a full thing of gallium arsenide. We only want a partial thing of gallium arsenide. A small pile, if you will.
Small pile of gallium arsenide and copper wire, the fine copper wire, and some liquid glass. All of which is very straightforward, so we can set that automation up here, no problemo. All right, let's get diodes done first. Let's do it.
Easy peasy. Let's go.
I had the wrong arsenic selected here, so I am changing all these out to the GregTech arsenic, and now this appears to be working. So we are mixing these two together and creating gallium arsenide very slowly, but it is being made. All right, so we're successfully buffering gallium arsenide in this middle drawer here with the storage bus. So now we actually see it in our storage too. But what we're going to want to do now is pass this along and keep working on our path here to autocraft diodes. And once we have autocrafting diodes set up, then we can basically finish. Well, I guess we got to do the phenolic circuits too with the silver wire and stuff. But after that, we can basically do the good circuits. We're almost there. We're almost at the point where we have our first MV circuits. So the packer is going to be responsible for taking our gallium arsenide dust and turning it into the small piles. What we can do is just use one of the pusher upgrade. That'll let us just push all of the dust out of here and into the west side. Yeah, just like that. And this all needs to feed into an assembler to buffer into the diodes. So I think what we'll do is we'll have the assembler right beside it here like that. So I think we can now come in here and find ourselves the robotic arm. And if we configure this to export, but we want to set a certain supply, we want to keep exact, and we'll say 1 stack, just like this. Will that actually make sure it stays only at 1 stack? Yes, cool. You can actually keep in stock very specific quantities with GregTech as well, which is really cool. Export bus, fine copper wire. This is gonna fill this thing with copper wire, but I don't think that's a huge deal. That should be making the liquid glass, and then we're going to auto output this to the left. There we go. It's crafting up very slowly. Wow. Very slowly.
And the last few things we need to do are the sawmill, the sawdust for the phenolic craft, and then the assembler for all of it, I believe.
All right, well, our diodes should be visible in storage now, which they are. 17.
Very nice.
Okay, I'll start to fill up our drawer here, which is good.
If we put the wood imported into the back of this to make the sawdust, any wood type, but we have acacia being stored, so we'll do acacia logs.
Wait, it's sending planks in.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait, it creates planks and sawdust. Is there a way we can just get the sawdust without the planks?
Why don't we just use the pulverizer? It makes 8 sawdust per, no other residual product.
Okay, well, let's do that then. Sawdust is being put in here, which is good. And then we need the glue to be also put in here. We'll do it underneath. Thank you. Come on. Glue. There we go. This is making the phenolic circuit board.
Yeah, so all we have to do is basically like turn those into the printed ones, and then we're gonna export them into this drawer.
Could we not have a drawer for it and keep that as like a passive craft that we're doing through Applied Energistics? That was my thought, because then that way we don't need to have it be here, and it's just a craft. It's just 8 wires and that board in the middle.
We can make a crafting card, and then we'll make the recipe for the phenolic printed circuit boards. Just like this. So if I put a crafting card into this export bus, I think this should work. There we go. Are you gonna work? Oh, it did it. It's doing it. We're making our first circuit, Grace.
Ooh.
Oh, but where is it gonna go now? Uh-oh. We might have to have this drawer be a 1x2 to allow it to push out.
We did it.
1x2.
Look at us go. I want to hold it.
So we have good circuits. We do.
We have good circuits.
Our first MV circuits. I have to hold it.
Yay.
Oh.
But we still didn't get the quest reward, but that's okay. That's fine.
It feels good though.
That was all of the automation for our first ever MV circuit. It's kind of ugly, but you know what? It's our ugly thing, you know?
We'll get better at this, I'm sure, as time goes on, right?
Okay, but hey, it doesn't need to be pretty. Nobody said it had to be pretty. Remember, we built this modularity themed base so that it didn't have to be pretty. Like, that is exactly why we decided to build it this way.
I think it looks...
Oh, okay, the slopes made it a little better.
That looks more intentional now.
The slopes felt... Okay, that is fair. That feels a bit more intentional.
And in between clips here, I just went ahead and added a couple more machines up top. I added one more extractor and one more assembler, so that way we have diodes being made a little bit faster, because unfortunately the diodes are our limiting factor. But right now we have a pretty good rate of diodes coming in, so I'm pretty happy with this overall setup, and we have a good amount of these electronic circuits now being buffered. So our next quest, now that we are producing the good electronic circuits, we want to be able to autocraft cables that we can use from GregTech on demand. And right now we're just kind of using whatever cables we have on hand, but we are interested in getting the superconductors set up, at least for the starting LV wires. And that's going to be the manganese phosphide wire, which is going to require us to go through and get the ingots. Now, this is made inside of the EBF. Back at our GregTech base, we can go ahead and actually make it in the EBF we have, but this manganese phosphide has to be made inside of the mixer, combining manganese dust and phosphorus dust. Now, we're actually getting phosphorus from a phosphorus B. It's the ChemLib phosphorus B right here, and that is being produced into the phosphorus element.
The ChemLib B cannot be used to create ChemLib dust or phosphorus. So like the phosphorus B only produces the phosphorus element and it cannot be compacted into the dust, but you can get around it by making it into phosphate and then bringing it to GregTech, and GregTech can make the phosphorus dust out of that phosphate.
It's a bit of a roundabout way to get there, but we can't automate the phosphorus dust, which is nice.
I just have this stockpiled because I did my research and wanted to make sure we would have access to all the things.
And the other part of that cable, the manganese, is also coming from a manganese B here, so that is where we are getting both resources, and they are being imported and sent over to GregTech. So we can now take those elements from GregTech, mix them together, make the manganese phosphide dust, and then we can use our EBF to smelt it into the ingots, where we can then turn it into the superconductor wire. And with that, after our little setup here, we have manganese phosphide wire fully automated, albeit very, very slowly. This stuff does not come in fast. The real limiting factor is the speed of our LV EBF. That thing is not running fast, but it is running passively. So over time, we will make a little stockpile of these cables that we can use on all of our machines going forward, at least for all of our LV stuff. Now, obviously, we are going to be moving into MV very soon, so we're going to be wanting to get all of that MV stuff. This will at least let us hook up LV machines and not have to worry about any voltage loss. The nice thing about the conductors here, the superconductors, is you can actually turn them into the larger versions of themselves back and forth freely. So you don't have to worry about crafting one size and then being stuck with it like the covered cables. So that is a really nice addition.
We have the first item for the star.
Yeah, apparently according to Grace's lengthy research, we need the 16 times magnesium phosphate wire.
Yeah, we need these things. We need 8 of these per star.
Well, get cooking, buddy.
On our way.
But I think overall that was a very successful episode. We have our good electronic circuits being automated and also the first tier of superconductor wire. And in the next episode, we'll definitely be hoping to start into the MV chapter and getting ourselves some upgraded machines. But thank you very much for watching, everybody. I really hope you did enjoy. If you did enjoy, feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to join the Discord. The link is in the description down below. But that's it for me, everybody. I hope you all have a good one, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Bye.